You are listening to the Getting Lucky Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. I am your host, Lucky Robert Curtis. I did a hip thrust when I said that. Joining me today for our cage chat is Mitchell Stuckey.
I'm doing peck pops, just waiting for you to introduce me.
Boing, boing, boing. I would do a peck pop, but I don't know if a rib cage counts as a peck pop.
Well, actually, for me, it's actually probably a breast. It's just all boobs.
You would make a great cuddle buddy. You remember, I think it was like Ross and Joey took naps together?
Yeah.
I would be your Ross.
Oh, that's sweet.
Today is a cage chat. We don't have a UFC event. Today, we're going to talk about just general MMA stuff. We didn't do a show last weekend. I was traveling a bit. I also had to be, my bat signal was put out for me to help my wife's surgery, so I'm in there sucking spit and pretending to care about what patients say, what hurts. My feeling hurts.
That is I hate that, the thing that just dries your mouth out.
Well, I'll tell you, it's really hard to do good work when there's spit everywhere. And some people have abnormally large tongues. There was one guy that I was helping my wife with, and he had a really large bulbous tongue, like he had like a bullfrog in his mouth. And I kept sort of rubbing his tongue with the suction, and I brought up like a blood blister the size of like a penny.
What?
And he like actually stopped and said, "Wait a second," and he reached in and touched the blood blister because he could feel it with his mouth numb, and then he glared at me, and I'm like, I'm part-time, I don't care.
Well, yeah, what I don't understand, it works in Australia that you can just do that without any formal training?
It works anywhere. I'm a dental nurse.
Right.
I'm not a dental nurse. I've helped my wife chairside acting as her nurse. You don't have to have any skills. All you do is just stick suction in there, and she does all the other stuff.
Yeah, but don't you need like some type of certificate or something for that?
Are you sure you're American?
Yeah.
This sounds totally like something a European would be thinking with their socialized commie ways.
I just know that if I'm sitting there all numbed up waiting to have surgery or whatever done to me, it better be someone who knows what the hell they're doing at every step of the way.
The only certification I've got is for when we put people completely under, and then I get to lube them up, and I get to use my pimp hand as we molest them.
Whoa! So that does
happen. Actually, we don't do GA in my wife's surgery.
That's good.
But enough about dentistry. You didn't come here to talk about dentistry, although we could talk about mouth guards. Joe Rogan and Bas Rutten love to talk about custom-fitted mouth guards. We're going to first settle an issue from our previous UFC event in which I foolishly went against the betting gambling master, Mitchell Stuckey.
That's me.
Will you lay it up? Break down. Present what we did. What was our bet and what were the terms?
We had a bet on the undercard, as I recall it. That
you know you're an addict when you're betting on the undercard. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Well, you were very much against me that the cross-eyed MacDessie could not beat the overzealous, full of himself
Kickmaster
Crookshank. And of course he did, because Crookshank again was just, I guess he thought he was at like a tryout for a Van Damme movie or something. And he was just throwing everything out there. And MacDessie caught him with his one good eye for 3 rounds. And then you were supposed to make an a cappella song, because last time you made a song in regards to Kim Winslow. This time the topic was whatever you wanted it to be, and a cappella style.
That's right. So I did an a cappella song. I'll admit, it is a cappella-ish. I do have a little sort of backbeat there, but all of the parts, and there are a couple, were sung by me and then layered together.
I should say I haven't heard this yet.
Yes, that's right. You haven't heard it, and when you hear the song, you'll realize how much effort went into it. More effort than I'm actually willing to admit. That's why I'm not going to just sing it, because I wanted to give you the best Lucky a cappella.
I want to say that this is why we had to delay the show, because you had to put in a week's worth of work for this song.
I was actually thinking about canceling the show, the whole podcast, just so I wouldn't have to do this. Getting Lucky Raw, who the fuck is that? I don't know. Wrong number. So I guess without any further ado, I present you Mr. Drugman by the Luckettes. Let's play it. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Drugman,
Yes?
I need TRT. I need something legal when I have to pee. Give me big muscles and a killer instinct. I wanna fuck over Michael Bisping. Drugman,
Yes?
I can't fight on my own. Wandy said I have no lead in my bone. Please give me your magic cream, Mr. Drugman TRT. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Drugman,
Yes?
I want TRT. I need to win in the UFC. My levels are low and I'm not producing because of 20 years of crazy juicing. Drugman,
Yes?
shoot up my balls, else I'll be forced to wall install. Please give me your magic cream, Mr. Drugman TRT.
Well, bravo, bravo.
Not my proudest moment.
No, that was, I mean, I always, you know, you're a writer, so I like the words. My favorite part, probably of the whole thing, well, two of them, is the stupid trumpet in the background that's just like, and
Yes.
I like how I know that you probably recorded it and re-recorded it and re-recorded it in one take trying to get it right. And you still couldn't help but laugh at the shoot up my balls part.
Yeah. I will say that bum 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 part actually has 5 layers to it. So I recorded each of those separately. Bum bum bum, and then bam 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 bam, and then layered them together. I'm a loser. I admit it. I have no life. But
if I ever lose a bet to you for a singing thing, it's just going to be me hitting record one time, singing it. No, nothing laid over, no background music. I have no skills when it comes to messing around with computer software stuff.
I don't either. But I'm an autodidact.
I'm a nothing with computers didact.
I'll let you guys just Google what that word means. Anyway, so I am a man of my word. There is my acapella. Pseudo acapella,
Yeah.
like you said, dumb trumpet. Please shoot out my balls. I'm going to be all of our listeners, and you know who you are, 6 of them. Keep encouraging us to keep making bets, but I keep losing them, so I'm going to be a bit gun shy. So give me a couple weeks before I jump in there again.
I feel a strong bet coming up soon, though.
Yeah, probably. All right, so have you stayed abreast? See how I did that full circle? You're a good cuddler. With Tough 17, the Ultimate Fighter, we're now in the quarters.
Absolutely, I have.
What did you think of the Wildcard Fight?
You know, you have I'm blanking on their names right now. I know Bubba and the guy King Casey. So
Yes.
I don't feel like either of them really listened to their coaches all that well. I was really not that fun of a fight to watch for me.
I think Bubba is horribly overrated.
Horribly overrated, yeah. And I don't know why Chael. I don't know why Chael chose King to come back. I thought he showed no promise whatsoever. And I forget off the top of my head who the other guy would have been, but I know he was better than King.
Well, it could have been Tor.
Yeah, well, didn't Tor get knocked out? I think so.
Yeah,
He couldn't. He can't come back.
Well, I mean, I think other than that, Zach Cummings, or that's it. I mean,
No, there was somebody. I don't remember who Zach Cummins is. There was somebody. I'll figure it out throughout the show.
I thought King was winning that fight, but he had some sort of weird... Hopefully we'll find out exactly what happened, but his body started shutting down in round 2, and he just lay there. And of course...
He did say what happened.
Well, he said in a previous fight he had kidney failure.
No, he put it on Twitter.
Ooh, inside information. Go Mitchell.
Well, it's public Twitter information. He put it on Twitter.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Just tell us what he said.
That it was just he was having a panic attack.
Oh my God!
I'm pretty sure is what he said. He was having a panic attack. That it was going to be the kidney failure.
Oh, that is the biggest vagina excuse I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, just I don't know. That's what I heard. So I didn't agree that he should be the guy that gets to come back. From what I recall, yeah, I guess Zach Cummings was the only guy that has lost on their team. Him and Tor.
Yeah.
Why can
King.
Well, yeah. Why can I not remember who Zach Cummings is?
He's the guy. I believe he's got a beard and he's sort of a ginger that's balding a little bit. Let me.
Yes. Yeah, he's super weird looking.
With facial hair.
Right.
Kind of looks like Tor, if I right. Yeah, that's him. That's the guy I'm thinking of.
I thought he showed a lot more promise than King Kevin Casey. Kevin Casey looks like a guy that's going to gas out, and he does. But he doesn't look like a guy that wants to wrestle or have a JJ, match with you, and that's exactly what he is. That doesn't make any sense to me. He didn't want to stand and he didn't want to throw a single punch against Bubba.
He did lots of beautiful transitions against Bubba in round 1, but he didn't damage him or go for any subs.
No.
He's just doing. He was literally doing a BJJ tournament. You could have left off the second J. He's just giving him a BJ.
He was doing nothing, and what annoys me at how right he is, but annoying, is Chael is in the background saying, "You don't have to do anything. The other guy's got to move. Bubba has to move. You're where you need to be, so don't move."
Yep.
And he's right, but that's infuriating that he's right.
Well, Chael's a wrestler.
Right.
But check out the way this bracket is set up. So Uriah wanted Josh Salmon, whom I could have dedicated the TRT song to. But instead they gave him Bubba. And I thought maybe they were saving Josh so that they could fight in the finals, because that would be really... I mean, Josh isn't a joke. He can actually fight.
But he's going to get ripped apart.
Nobody likes him. He's the villain.
Yeah.
And apparently half people don't like Uriah either. Closet racism? Anyway, they gave Uriah Bubba, which will probably be the best quarterfinal fight, in my opinion. But then his semifinal fight will be the winner of Jimmy Quinlan and Josh Salmon. So once they get to the finals, I don't know who... Uriah, assuming he goes all the way through, is going to fight on the other side that'll be interesting to watch. Colin, Kelvin, Dylan, and Luke.
Colin's the Brit, right?
That's Luke.
Okay.
Dylan is the Kiwi. Kelvin is the really young guy. And Colin's
the wrestler.
I'm missing out.
Colin's the wrestler, the really annoying... The only guy that I think
the guy with the really small mouth.
Yep. His mouth doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah. I think... Dylan's the Kiwi, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan's the Kiwi.
I guess he's who I was thinking the Brit was. The Brit is the tall dude.
Really tall guy, yeah.
I don't think he's got a chance. I like Dylan, but I don't think he's got much of a chance. I think it comes down to Colin and Uriah Hall. But for me, the main event of this thing will be Uriah Hall versus Josh Salmon, if that takes place. Now, you said
Absolutely.
Jimmy is facing Josh Salmon, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Quinlan.
I don't see Josh making it out of that. Jimmy's just an aggressive wrestler, and your money always has to go on the wrestler.
Jimmy Quinlan, is that not the greatest name? He needed to be like a character in Miller's Crossing. Have you seen that movie, Irish Gangsters?
No. To me, I guess that it's good for that, but it also sounds like a WWE announcer. Jimmy Quinlan, or a manager for a WWE fighter.
Good God, that's Jimmy Quinlan's music.
Exactly.
So who are you? Are you tabbing Uriah to win the whole thing?
Actually, I don't want him to win the whole thing.
You don't like Uriah?
I think he's got unbelievable skills, and he's going to do a lot of things in the UFC.
He's crazy.
I don't like how out of tune he is with society. But he does have, I guess, again, I hate it, but he's right with his mentality is, I don't need to like any of you guys, and I don't need any of you guys to like me. He's just here to fight.
Well, the thing that's funny about Uriah to me is he doesn't seem to have he doesn't have degrees of responses. You know, like if someone says, "Hey, well, Lucky, your beard looks like shit," I'll be like, okay, whatever. If I was Uriah, I'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah,
like that's kind of his response to everything. Like he says, a professional cooker. You mean chef? Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy. I'm gonna prison rape his asshole till it bleeds. Like, whoa!
That reminded me of when I was young and people picked on me for not knowing where. Well, get the fuck over it. You're like
when
25.
I was Jamaican and I said professional cooker, it reminded me of all of those little kids that told me chef. I must now vanquish him. There can be only one. I will decapitate him.
Right. I don't know. I'm actually rooting for Bubba.
Bubba? Is it because he cried about not being able to see his kid? You are such a softie.
No, I felt for him a little bit, I guess, on the last episode. I know he wants it more. The only thing I really didn't like is at the end when he found out he was fighting Uriah, he bitched about it a little bit, but I can totally understand that because Uriah is clearly the guy to beat. But I want Bubba to win.
If there's a good Bubba and a bad Bubba, we have not seen good Bubba yet.
No, they keep saying that he's a kickboxing phenom. Well, how come that was his game plan going into the Kevin Casey fight, and then he didn't even try to kickbox at all, even when he had the upper hand?
He tried in the King fight. He went forward and got immediately taken down.
Yeah, but in the next round, he was on top of King the whole time. Get off.
I think he sensed that King was flagging.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
he has the thing about Bubba, he does have good cardio.
Yep.
So he was like, I'm going to press, and he won.
Who do you like? Who do you like? You like Uriah.
I like Uriah.
Yeah.
I like Uriah.
I think if I'm betting on it, I'm going to take Uriah. But I can also see Colin take it. In all honesty, I don't think Bubba wins. I'm rooting for him. But I see him, Uriah or Colin being the winner.
Do you think any of these guys has a long UFC career?
I think Uriah does. I think
got to see Uriah wrestle. That's the thing.
If he can just improve his wrestling enough to have decent takedown defense, that's great.
I just don't know if he's got any because Sella didn't try to wrestle him. Bubba won't.
No.
Yeah. If it's Salmon probably won't. So maybe he gets a wrestler in the final. I don't know.
Like Colin, and Colin apparently is a smotherer. But
or Colin or Kelvin, they're both wrestlers.
Yeah. About wrestlers, while we're talking about it, since Colin's I just call him a smotherer.
Sure, Mitchell. What about wrestlers?
Why do they act all tough, like they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then they're happy to lay on you? Like, why was GSP like, I'm gonna beat him? Like, he's not going to.
I will take you to my dark place,
right.
And in my dark place, we will cuddle by the fire.
Right. I'm going to beat him so bad he doesn't want to get off his stool to answer the bell for round 2. I didn't see that happen. I didn't even see that sort of happen. So what
you want wrestlers to do is, I'm going to go into this fight and I'm going to hug him a bit and hopefully
be real with me. Be real. Don't sit there and tell me like, oh my god, the letdown when Rashad talked all that shit against Rampage and then just tugged his nuts for 3 rounds. That made me
nearly got knocked out by a thigh.
Right. That and that was I wanted that to happen. I wanted that thigh to kill him because he talked all that mess and then that's what he was doing. So I don't know. It just annoys me that they run their mouths like that and then they don't even sort of try to do what they said they want to do.
By the way, Rashad's excuse for his letdown performance against Little Nog, quote unquote, mental fog.
So like
it's kind of the
Diaz.
same thing that Fitch said against Maya. Mental fog.
Well, Nick Diaz was also like, man, I didn't wake up until right before I had to fight. So I guess that's the same thing?
Yeah, that's weird. It's strange. All right, let's talk about Korean Zombie is Korean. Obviously. They wouldn't call him Korean Zombie otherwise. He's not a zombie, though. He wrote a message to George St. Pierre because George St. Pierre comes out into the ring honoring the legacy of the Japanese martial art that he got started in, which was Kyokushin Karate. But on his gi, he's got the rising sun. On his headband, he's got just the red circle or sun of Japan. But the rising sun is more of a military emblem of old Japan. And Korean Zombie, I think rightly so, stated that rising sun, which was the symbol of Imperial Japan, is actually the Asian equivalent of the swastika because of all the war crimes Japan did and still has not apologized for. He's urging GSP not to wear it ever again. What do you think about all that?
Well, I hadn't known that at all, like that it meant that. I had no idea. And I don't think GSP knew that. Did you know that?
I did not know specifically what he had on was a symbolic of Imperial Japan. I do know of Japan's atrocities that they committed throughout mainland Asia.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Because it's kind of like saying in America, like the Confederate flag is for racism. It's this symbol. I had no idea. So, with that in mind, yeah, if I were GSP, I probably would take a different approach. But
do you think it's the right thing to do, or do you think it's from a moralistic standpoint, or do you think GSP, if he stops wearing it, will be more for a PR reason?
Probably a PR reason. I don't.
But do you think it's moralistically the right thing to do?
I think you want to send the right message to obviously a worldwide company like Zuffa's got in the UFC. And I don't think the right message would be, "Hey, you're wearing a swastika. Keep wearing it." He's been made aware of the situation.
I think a more linear comparison would be the Totenkopf, which is the death's head. You know how the SS soldiers actually had a silver skull on them? Mm-hmm. Now that looks pretty macabre, but it actually comes from the Hussar regiments before Germany was united. They would wear a death's head, just skull and crossbones. And so it was a very Germanic thing for them to put on. Now, because the Nazis continued to do that, it has become very much a Nazi symbol. Mm-hmm. So there are probably plenty of people that look at it as being cool and not really understanding what it means, or maybe they think it's a pirate thing that might wear it as a tattoo or whatever. Do you think those people should stop wearing the Totenkopf, which just means death's head, for that reason? Because it could be associated by Germans or surrounding European countries as being Nazi?
I guess you think that it's as much of a stretch in that situation as it is in this one, is what you're saying?
I think the rising sun, because it's not even red. It's on his gi. It was black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's got Japanese writing. He's got the Japanese flag on his headband, so it's pretty clear he's paying an homage to Imperial Japan. But in my opinion, KZ is absolutely right in saying that he is encouraging GSP not to wear it. And any other Chinese, Korean fighter that wants to say that is totally in the right. If GSP doesn't want to acknowledge it and continue to wear his gi as he wants, I still think he's okay in doing it.
Yeah, that's his call. Like I said, he's been made aware of the situation, so now he's got a decision. Would I think any less of him if he decided to continue to wear it? No, I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not. Like I said, it's not red. It's black. Like if you look at his gi, maybe some of his gis in the past have had red, but the one he wore when he fought Diaz was black, coming off of his left side.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still very interesting. It's a multicultural sport, and I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun. I guess I really like the way that KZ presented himself. He was very Look, here's the facts. How do you want to go from here? I'm not telling you what I think you should do, but he was eloquent and I'm sure somebody wrote it, somebody translated probably for him, but I liked the tone that he had with which he wrote. So
yeah. And now I'm going to feel guilty when we do our Kim Jong-il tribute podcast next month. Another interesting thing, we have long harped on the Black Zillions, but perhaps the first sign of cracking, maybe even a mass exodus, is maybe already underway. Melvin Guillard has left the Black Zillions.
Probably the smartest decision of his career.
He tried to go back to Greg Jackson's, but Greg Jackson said, "Whoa! You've got an assault charge looming over your head. You're not welcome."
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What was that for?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't.
Certainly wasn't anything he did in the cage. Oh!
Hey!
My question to you is one, do you see the Black Zillions continuing on? Or do you think, with all of the really bad performances by their fighters, Rashad being the masthead fighter in that camp, what will happen to the Black Zillions? And two, where should Melvin Guillard go?
Well, to answer the first part, in my opinion, the Black Zillions are a stupid camp. And a stupid camp, like a stupid person, does not know that they are stupid. And so they continue to act as if they are God's gift. And that's what I think the Black Zillions will do. They'll continue on. They may get better, and I hope they do. And with that, hopefully they change their name from one of the dumbest names of all time. Where does he go from here? Somewhere that he can learn how to get his career on track and some takedown defense. And submission defense, for that matter. I'd like to see him go up to Canada and fight with GSP and those guys, but I mean, that to me would seem like the obvious choice. That's a place where your career is going to be headed in the right direction, and the guys will teach you to wrestle, which is what he needs.
He's got two sort of conundrums. One, if he can find a camp that will overlook his looming legal troubles, then you're right. Going, I think, TriStar or ATT would be a good fit for him.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't find someone that will ignore the fact that he's likely going to be charged or incarcerated, I've heard Alexander Emelianenko is coming back. Maybe he needs some partners.
No, you know what? If he is going to have that type of street cred, go out there and see what Cesar Gracie says. Maybe hang out with
209.
They can't stop the takedown. He'd be the same fighter. Let's just join him.
They do a lot of talking after the fight.
Yeah. It'd be
GSP
seamless.
Apparently, what's that?
It'd be seamless.
Seamless. GSP apparently has been cast in Captain America 2. Captain Canada. I don't know if that's true. Maybe he's a villain, because after all, Canadians are all evil. First off, do you think it's a good cast? Do you think GSP will be able to do the part, assuming he's got speaking lines? Captain America takes out 4 or 5 skull bots. GSP, I am not impressed with your performance.
I would love if they could write in, I am not impressed with your performance into the script for him. He is apparently a henchman for the villain character. So, not a very big part, but Batroc, I think is his name. I'm not a comic reader. I don't know, I don't know that much about him. I watched the movies, but I don't know that much about Batroc, even if that's how you say his name. So, I don't know if he was right for the part, but it'll be interesting to see MMA again move more into the mainstream and be a more noticeable character outside of Rampage and Randy Couture.
I do think that he'll be good in it, because my wife, with her karate background, likes to watch fighting, but she particularly likes to watch the GSP Heine. She just comments during the fight, like, he needs to throw more kicks. He's got a big butt. That's just what that's my wife. So with that being said, if we could, regardless of acting ability, who do you think out of the mixed martial arts population should we pull into making superhero movies?
Well, if they make a Street Fighter movie, which, could you say that's a I guess that's not a superhero movie.
It's not a superhero movie at all. You failed your nerd test,
yeah.
But continue, please.
But I'm going to move in that direction.
To see where this goes.
I'm going to move in that direction. I think that if they were to make a Street Fighter movie, they could make it completely out of MMA fighters. You could have, let's see, Dalsum could be Anderson Silva.
That's good.
EJ Honda. Now, this is a stretch a little bit, because he's really not Asian, but Mark Hunt kind of reminds me of EJ Honda.
I was thinking... Yeah. Or Hoing Man Choi.
Oh, yeah, but he's like gigantic. Honda is a sumo guy.
Yeah.
I think for Guile. Now, see, Guile's interesting because I would say Bisping, but Guile's 100% American.
I was almost going to say GSP.
Oh, see, that's weird. It's interesting. There is
He's
no
North
American.
American.
Yeah, but there's no American that fits the American build there. Who else? Oh, Balrog, the boxer. Rampage. Done. I don't know. I can't think of enough. Well, then, you have your Asian fighter, Asian woman, Chun-Li. That could be...
Landa Lousy.
No, no, because there's a American girl too, and that could be Ronda Rousey. The girl.
I was saying her name with a Chinese accent.
I got you.
Thank you.
The girl that was supposed to fight Cyborg that just backed out. That could be her. I think you could go in a lot of directions with that. But for a superhero,
who would you? Okay, let's say we're casting the X-Men. Who would you cast for Wolverine?
John Fitch.
I actually, the way I kind of ingratiated myself to him on Twitter was photoshopping his face onto Wolverine.
I saw your work. That was badass.
Blatant ass kissing on my part.
It was badass though. It was again seamless. It was perfect.
Seamless. That's our today's word. Who would you cast for Professor X? Dana White.
Yeah, Dana White's got to be Professor X.
He's got to lose at least 30 pounds to be Professor X.
By
the way, Dana White, kind of a real life badass. Like, if you listen to this, like some of this, like when he was on that Joe Rogan podcast, street fighter, amateur boxer.
Yeah, but he ran a Taibo boxing fitness.
He was trying to teach people boxing without them having to get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And I, for one, would like that.
Well, you just have an older. You have an older brother. You shouldn't.
What about Storm?
Storm.
This is tough.
Demetrius Johnson.
Storm is a female character.
Yes,
right?
I do. Demetrius Johnson. He's little, slender, and African American. So I think that's.
I was going to go with Todd Duffy.
Well, here's one. I'm going to throw this one at you since I'm coming up with all the names here. Gambit. Who would you have for Gambit?
Gambit. Crazy guy. Takes chances. I don't know if this is even a right, but Cody McKenzie has to be in this movie.
I think if they make the Phantom of the Opera, that's Cody McKenzie.
Can Bigfoot be Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, I guess he'd have to be. Gambit, Chael Sonnen. Clever.
All right.
Clever.
Last person, how about who would you pick to be Colossus?
Brock Lesnar.
It's going to go with Ed Herman.
All right. For you then, Cyclops.
Cyclops. Josh Koscheck, because he always gets poked in one eye.
No matter what happens, he's poked.
That's right.
All right.
Does Cyclops fake a lot of injuries during their fight with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants?
No, but he does always seem to get his ass beat, and then the girl needs to save him, or Wolverine needs to save him. So.
That's right. Ronda Rousey, Phoenix, Jean Grey.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so let's wrap up our show. Every time we do a cage chat, we try to figure out who the greatest of all time is. Fedor, Spider, or GSP. What were some of the good ones that we had in previous cage chats, Mitchell?
I know that recently, my favorite one apparently of all time is live action role playing. LARPing. That you brought that one up, and that was my favorite. We also did competitive eating.
Yes.
Which
ice skating,
and
you had one. What was yours?
It was competitive eating.
Oh, okay.
We also did another one. I don't recall what it is.
Baking?
Yeah. But these
baking,
I think,
hula hooping,
and I think Anderson Silva clearly takes that. But no, I think I said GSP took that. Anyway, my favorite one was LARPing. Best pound for pound, best GOAT topic of all time.
Well, there you go. This time we're going to figure out who's the best by using competitive urinating. We're talking height and distance. Go.
Okay, let me preface this by saying that the topic of GOAT topic is never spoken of before the show. So neither of us ever has any idea what it's going to be.
Well, I do, but I don't tell Mitchell.
You do, and then when it was competitive eating, yes. I hadn't told you. So, competitive urinating. Who can pee the farthest and highest?
And I'm also thinking we should also throw volume of urination. Like who could fill up like a liter bucket?
All right, and it's got to be. Oh, I don't know. See, judging on that criterion, I don't know. I'm going to go. Since you brought in the volume, I'm going to go. I'm going to go GSP. And
explain.
It's going to be weird. I'm going to say GSP goes on a bout of celibacy where see, this is just strange how my mind is going this way. So
I'm wondering where you're going this way.
He doesn't have any sexual relations for quite a while. And then one day, I believe he'll go clubbing and drink a ton. And a girl will want to take him home, and instead of peeing first, he'll want to pee after the fact. And then that stuff could spray the urine would spray all over the bathroom with such force and so much liquid, I think he could drown himself inside the bathroom if it were sealed. I'm going GSP.
Wow. What did I just listen to? I thought you were going to go R. Kelly on me there for a second.
No. That's disturbing.
I'm going to go. I think the size of your hose directly influences your reach and height of stream. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the black man.
I was going to say, well, there you go. Done.
Yes, I do believe Fedor can hold the most liquid, but if we're looking at this from a pound-per-pound perspective, where you equal a ratio of liquid contained to body mass, I still think Spider and GSP probably tip good old Fedor the Bear.
I was thinking Anderson Silva could shoot farthest. That was my thought.
Although, the younger you are, the stronger your stream.
Is that right?
Like, you're still probably, peeling off your porcelain. Me, I put my arm up on the bathroom wall and wait for 5 minutes until a little tugboat gets to the top of the hill. So maybe it's GSP. Maybe the younger guy has the best. Like, my son can pee into the toilet from his bedroom. I'm going to go with GSP. I'm going with GSP. Well, although Silva clearly has the biggest winger. He choked out Chael Sonnen with it. He wrapped it around his neck.
I saw that. It was
nice.
Disturbing.
Yes. Those Brazilian videos, man, you never know what you're going to get when you click on them. That is our show. I was trying to think of how to summarize this episode, and I don't even know where to go. We sang, we talked about Anderson's wiener, and we...
when you say we, you're very loose with that. You sang...
Oh,
you talked about
I talked about Anderson's wiener, and you had the GSP clubbing pee story.
That's right.
It was a whole narrative that you put together.
Off the top of my head, out of nowhere.
Don't wash your hands. We did all of this together, Mitch. We will be back later this week to talk about the upcoming event, which is, do you know off the top of your head?
UFC on Fuel TV 9, Gustafsson versus Musasi.
Yeah, that's right. It's not going to be that exciting event because there's really not much beyond the main event. Ross Pearson, Ryan Couture, Brad Pickett's there, Diego Brandao. Diego Brandao versus Pablo Garza. That's probably going to be a good one. But not a lot in terms of the undercard.
And that is not until the 6th.
Oh, so we actually have...
We have
another cage chat and another cage chat after that. You know what? I got to find a reason for you to have to sing a song.
Well, if you want to bet, we can bet on some Bellator shows here. But I'll warn you, I'm an avid Bellator fan. I know these guys.
Yeah, I don't know any of them.
Well,
let's let me put that under my hat and I'll think of something. I was thinking maybe March Madness, but I don't like cross-sport mixing. This is a MMA podcast.
Speaking of March Madness, did you see what happened to Oklahoma State?
So that's our show. I really appreciate everyone coming. If you want to be the co-host, just write in and let me know. We're always looking for new talent. One of our buddies, Kyle, Oregon guy, and of course, I got a running commentary on Facebook about the game. I was trying avidly to avoid it because whenever I watch, we always... Whatever. I hate my life.
You're so mad right now.
And and not to mention, Oklahoma State came in second after a massive 20-point comeback in the NCAA wrestling finals to Penn State. 7 All-Americans, 2 national champions, but just 4 points behind Penn State and Cale Sanderson.
Second. Yeah, that's honestly, that was the place that they came in during that March Madness game. They came in second to the other team they played that beat them.
Yeah, but I got you.
Because there was a first and a second. The first moved on, the second didn't. That was an opening round game too. That's just embarrassing.
If you want to be a co-host for the Getting Lucky Mixed Martial Arts podcast, no talent needed. You don't even need to be able to form complete sentences. Just send in your information and you're on. Alrighty.
And you'll win every bet. Yeah, we should just end this.
We should.
Thank you, everyone.